Look at the sheer scale of the modern housing market. Buying one of these properties is pushed as the ultimate emotional milestone for professionals. But the clash between the emotional desire for homeownership and the mathematical reality of carrying a 20-year debt creates a severe financial dilemma. A mortgage functions as a heavy drag on your net worth until the final payment clears. Until then, you are managing a major debt obligation rather than holding a liquid asset. This chart shows a standard 20-year loan. Notice how the total interest paid to the bank soars, while property appreciation climbs at a slower rate. Without optimization, that red line, the total capital paid, can exceed the home's initial sticker price. Treating a mortgage as a rigorous mathematical equation rather than an emotional goal is the only way to protect your liquidity and build true wealth. Average property acquisition starts right here at the foundation, which means securing the initial capital reserves required to trigger bank financing. Banks do not fund 100% of a property purchase. They operate on an LTV framework, typically funding between 75 and 90% of the agreement value. LTV stands for loan-to-value ratio, a lending metric determining the maximum loan amount based on the property's appraised value. This brings us to the 80-20 rule. Sourcing a full 20% down payment from your personal cash reserves is critical because it lowers your baseline EMI and puts you in a position to negotiate a lower interest rate. Here is the complete capital requirement: an 80% loan, your 20% down payment, and an external 10% block for statutory costs. This hidden 10% covers stamp duty, registration, and GST. These sunk costs offer zero equity and cannot be financed. Successfully buying a home requires nearly 30% of the property's value in liquid cash up front. Premature entry without those reserves can severely cripple your emergency fund. Even with cash reserves, weigh the opportunity cost of a static location and a massive EMI, especially if your career mobility is high. The definitive metric for deciding whether to buy or rent is the 5-year rule. You need to assess your geographic stability and career trajectory over the next half-decade. Buying a home when you plan to relocate within 5 years forces an asset liquidation. The high entry and exit costs will completely wipe out any short-term property appreciation. This matrix compares outcomes over 5 years. On the left, renting and investing in market SIPs, systematic investment plans, maintains high liquidity and secures compounding returns. On the right, paying an EMI builds equity, but exposes you to interest strain and limits flexibility. If your projected mutual fund returns consistently beat the local property's rental yield, taking on a home loan is mathematically a suboptimal wealth-building move in the short term. For those who have passed the 5-year test and must buy, the focus shifts to aggressively managing that debt with specific strategic maneuvers. Passively paying the minimum EMI is exactly what the lender expects. Your goal is to actively neutralize the bank's compounding interest advantage. The most effective tactic is the 13th EMI strategy. This involves making exactly one extra loan payment every single year, applied directly to the principal balance. This timeline demonstrates the compression effect of that single extra payment. Applying annual 13th EMI markers shrinks a standard 20-year loan by 5 years. The trade-off requires strict cash flow discipline, systematically diverting yearly bonuses from lifestyle spending into debt reduction. Another powerful tool is the joint advantage, applying for the home loan with a co-applicant, such as a spouse. A joint loan effectively doubles your legal tax deductions under Section 24B and Section 80C. These codes dictate legal deduction limits for home loan interest and principal repayment, respectively. However, the specific downside is that a joint application ties up both individual CIBIL scores. A CIBIL score is a 3-digit numeric summary of your credit history used by banks to evaluate loan eligibility. Tying it up limits the future independent borrowing capacity for both partners. To execute these early repayment strategies, you must opt for a floating rate home loan. This loan has an interest rate that adjusts periodically based on current market conditions. Crucially, under RBI guidelines, floating rates completely eliminate prepayment penalties when you try to settle your debt early. By stacking these tax code loopholes and aggressive prepayment schedules, a buyer transforms a passive 20-year liability into a highly controlled, wealth-generating financial tool. Before you sign any paperwork, you need to step back and run your numbers through a final, holistic decision-making framework. The non-negotiable baseline rule is simple. Your total monthly EMI must never exceed 40. Only when the debt is optimized and eventually erased does a house truly transition from a heavy burden into a foundational asset.